Good evening, one and all. Tim with Rob here with Tim. I'm sorry, not Tim with Rob, but Rob with Tim. And we are here this evening. We're going to do some college football pick'ems. We're going to do, it's only 6 or 8 games is all it is this week that we're picking. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, actually 9 games we're picking. If you want to come on tonight, all you have to do is give me your email address in the comment section. We'll pop you in here real quick. We don't have any limit until we have 10 people here, and then we've reached our limit then. But doesn't look like we're going to hit our limit tonight. A couple of the guys couldn't make it Tuesday nights. It's not always the easiest night to be here, but me and Tim – we talked last week, and we was like, yeah, let's try to do Tuesday this week. And so we going to see how things are working there. We're going to do some college football, and then after that, we'll do the NFL preview show. We'll let everybody know the records we think each team will have. And then after that, if we still have a little time, maybe we'll do 1, 2, 3 or trash. And we'll tell you what that's all about there when we get to it. All right, how you feeling tonight, Tim?
I'm feeling all right.
Good deal. I'll come back and get it in a few minutes. You can throw it in the fridge. First off, we got Dublin, Ireland. They're going to play in Ireland this year. Nebraska is the host, but Northwestern is going to Nebraska. And last year in Northwestern, Nebraska gave them a 49-point drub and a 56-7. I don't know if that means anything or anything. Nebraska only a 13-point favorite going across the pond. Who you liking, Tim?
Oh, I would definitely love the under in this for both teams traveling. But on the point spread, give me Nebraska to cover.
I got you. Yeah. By seeing last year's score, I know Nebraska didn't lose all their guys. I know they didn't. They haven't been that great a team in the last few years. They don't have that much NFL talent. But any of the freshmen, sophomore, and juniors that are coming up in class, they're just going to be better. I am with you all the way. I think this could be a blowout by halftime, and I will take Nebraska. Next, we have Wyoming at Illinois. Illinois is a 10-point favorite here. I'll go first on this one. I'm a little shaky on this game because Wyoming last year was not a very good team, and they lost. I mean, they were decent, but they lost a lot of key players. And Illinois should be more than a 10-point favorite against this team right now, being that Wyoming is so shaky. Home opener, Illinois is at home. Give up 10. I will do it. I will take Illinois minus a 10. Tim.
I might shock you a little bit. Illinois has not really impressed me all that much. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, the Wyoming, granted, the one thing they do out in the WAC is throw the ball, but they need to play more ball control. But you know what? Let me take Wyoming. Maybe this will be like a 9-point game.
All right.
8 or 9-point game.
Next, SEC powerhouse. Not quite. Vanderbilt, 6.5-point favorite, and they're going all the way over to Hawaii. Who you liking?
Ooh, 6.5. That's a tough line. Boy, Vanderbilt is a trash dump. Yeah, give me actually. Give me Hawaii to win this one on their home field.
I'm with you. How many times have we seen teams, basketball, football, baseball, whatever, when they travel over to Hawaii, they've got more on their minds than just the sport they're playing. They like the beaches, they like the girls, and they like the food. So I tell you what, and if they get a little bit of alcohol in them, it's also. I'll take Hawaii. I'm not sure they'll win, but I like a 6.5 all the way on that one. Next, we got UConn. They're traveling to Utah State, which was a top 25 team at times last year. Utah State's giving up 27.5. They probably could give up 47.5 in this game. I'm taking straight up Utah State and I'm giving up 27.5. Tim.
Yeah, I'll throw UConn as your early favorite to be your punching bag for Fast Drive football for 2022.
That should be interesting there. Next,
So, yeah.
North Texas at UTEP. Pick'em game. Who you like?
Didn't UTEP win their conference last year?
They were a good team. I want to say they won 8 games last year, I think.
Yeah, I think they played in their conference title game.
They may have.
Possibly. You give me UTEP to win this one.
You know what? Just like I said a little while ago, Illinois is opening up at home, and I picked them. UTEP, if you've got given 2 even teams, give me the home team. I like it, especially opening game of the season. I'll take UTEP. Next, we have Nevada, 9-point favorites. The Wolfpack at New Mexico State. I know Nevada over the last few years have had good quarterbacks, and good quarterback play means a lot. New Mexico State, you don't hear them really toppling any big name teams. I'll take Nevada in this game on the road. Tim?
100% agreement. Give me the Wolfpack.
All right. Charlotte at Florida Atlantic University, FAU. And they're 7-point favorites. Florida Atlantic is. Who you liking here?
Yeah, give me the 49ers to cover.
All right. Here we go. Atba Brian's coming in and join us here too. Good deal. How you doing, Brian?
Doing great. Hi, Tim, Rob.
We'll get right back to you in a minute and let you pick the games in just a minute. In fact, you can play a part with us in just a second. I'll explain it to the fans. I'm taking FAU in this game. I'm not sure about either team, but -7, that's not a lot to give up. So we'll run with that. Next, we got a game with no line on it. Duquesne Dukes. They're going to Florida State University. And Florida State, the Seminoles, are hosting this one. No line on it. So we're going to make a line for it. How do we do it? We do a bidding war. Only one team can get Florida State. But you got to be willing to give up more points than the other 2 guys. So I can start right here now, and I'll tell you, I'll give 20 points up, and I'll take Florida State. Tim?
I'll go 26.5.
All right.
No,
26.5. You'll go 27, you say, Brian? I'll go 30. Okay. Tim?
I'll go 33.5.
33.5. Brian, are you willing to give up more than 33?
Yeah, I'm out.
You're out. Okay. So you're taking Duquesne and the 30, whatever's over that amount of points, correct?
Yeah.
I'll take 30. I'll give 34 up.
You can have it.
Okay. So -34. Rob gets that. Atba Brian.
Now watch. This will be like 1 point under, like we were a couple times last year.
And you know what? We came real close with some lines last year. We really did. And then we got Florida A&M University going to travel to North Carolina. No line once again. Tim, start us off. How many points are you willing to give and take Carolina in this game?
I'll take Carolina. We'll start -28.
28. All right, Brian.
Okay, Carolina 30.
I'm out
Plus
already.
30.
I'm already out. So Tim, 30. He's giving 30 up.
You know what? Brian, you can have that one.
All right. So
Okay.
Brian gets that one and gives up 30.
I have a lot of confidence in the coach. They were a little bit down, but they competed with North Carolina State last year. So
Yeah, they lost their quarterback. Their quarterback ended up going to the pros, though, right? Didn't he go?
Sam Howell, yeah.
Yeah. Sam, is he with Washington?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so.
He's the third
So me-
string right now.
So me and Tim we'll take FAMU, and that's the way we do it. I mean, and a lot of times we get them real close with the lines when we do like it bidding. Dublin, Ireland, Brian. Northwestern playing Nebraska. Nebraska's giving up 13.
I'll take Northwestern. I don't like Scott Frost, their coach.
And you know what? He's not going to make it through the year if he doesn't win some big games this year.
Yeah.
He better be scared. Wyoming at Illinois. Illinois minus 10.
Wyoming's been kind of coming. Wyoming's favored 10?
No. Illinois is favored by 10 at home.
Yeah, if this was Wyoming, at Wyoming, I'd probably take Wyoming. I'll go with Illinois.
You went with Illinois?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right. Vanderbilt, 6.5 point favorites traveling to Hawaii.
They still have a female kicker?
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think so. I think that was a
What Vanderbilt favored by again?
6.5 points. It's got a hook to it. So
Yeah, it's kind of a. I'll take Hawaii.
yeah, we both did too. All right. UConn, Connecticut, going to Utah State. Utah State, 27.5 point favorites.
Utah State, I'm good with that.
Yeah, we picked that really quick. North Texas at UTEP. Texas El Paso's hosting North Texas. Pick 'em game. You can take either one you want. Don't have to give up anything.
I'll take UTEP.
All right. So that's 100% all the way across. It's Alex. Hope you guys are doing well. I will check out the video later, but I wanted to say hi. What's up, Alex?
Hey, John or Alex. Sorry, Alex. Good to see you.
Nevada.
Well.
Nevada, the Wolfpack, -9 at New Mexico State.
It's a guess the first week. I'm going to go with Nevada.
Yep, we did. We went with them too. They're a good team. They've been really good. Charlotte at FAU. Florida Atlantic -7. Charlotte at FAU.
I'll take Charlotte.
All right, both of you guys did.
I think they went
All
to the
right.
bowl last year, didn't they?
Do what?
Didn't they go to the bowl last year?
Yeah, I think they did. Yeah, I do think they did. All right. A little later in the show, we'll tell you who we think is going to get Rookie of the Year and maybe even MVP this year, and who possibly can go to the Super Bowl.
Did you go to Austin Peay and Western Kentucky?
No, we didn't mess with. We didn't mess with a couple of the games. We just took those 9 right there. We just went with those 9 right there. Let's start with the NFC North. NFC North with Detroit, Green Bay, Minnesota, and Chicago. Tim, clear-cut favorite here, and if so, why? And kind of give us your rundown of the 4 the way you like them, and kind of how many wins you think each team gets.
The clear-cut favorite should be the Packers. Granted that will take some adjustment for Rodgers to get new receivers or to get his new favorite receiver.
Right.
Because Devontae Adams left. Let's see.
So are you picking them to win the division?
Yes.
All right. How many wins do you think they get?
I'd say probably 10 or 11.
Okay. All right. And who you like in second?
Only because of the wide receiver core, the Vikings.
All right. Third place.
Give me Chicago only because they do have a skilled wide receiver and a possible good running back, but it's going to be neck and neck with them and the Lions.
All right. Brian, who you like in this division?
Well, I like Green Bay. Green Bay's at Kansas City in the preseason game. I don't think any starters are going to be playing in that game.
Right.
Maybe one series, but that's even doubtful. If Aaron Rodgers gets hurt at some point, Green Bay is going to have a problem because I don't think Jordan Love is even close to ready. So, but you got to assume Aaron Rodgers is going to make it through. He'll find relievers. So, yeah, Green Bay.
All right. How many wins do you think you're good for?
Looks like Bakhtiari is back. So, I think they're going to win. Probably without looking at their schedule, I would guess at least 13. I think
Okay. All right. Second place.
Kind of a tough pick between Minnesota and Chicago and Detroit for me. Detroit was actually competitive all but one or two games. Chicago's kind of a mess, but when we played them in preseason, their backups were better than ours. Yeah. Minnesota, as you've already said, has great receivers, and they got a great running back. So I'm going to go Minnesota. I think Detroit's kind of exciting. I like their coach. I think they may finish ahead of Chicago.
Okay. Third and fourth. I like Green Bay in this division too. I like them for 12 wins. Last year they won 13. I think they're going to fall back a little bit. I've got a tie for second place, believe it or not. I got Minnesota and Detroit both finishing better than 500 this year. I think Detroit is the biggest. They go from 3 wins. I'm picking to go to 9 wins. I'm counting on Jared Goff really playing well this year, and I'm also counting on them sweeping Chicago. I think Chicago is a mess. I really do. I'm picking Chicago to win 6 games. I think it might be a little high even. I think they could win 4 or 5. That could be it for them. But I'm with you, Brian. I think Detroit finishes at least third, and I'm not going to be surprised if they finish second in this division. But Kirk Cousins, the one guy quarterback that plays a lot better, at least average, and gets no respect from a lot of teams, he's a lot better than most people's quarterbacks. So and they have a lot of talented positions. So I like Minnesota second as well. Let's go to the South. Atlanta, New Orleans, Tampa Bay, Carolina. Brian, who you liking here?
All right, Tampa Bay, of course, would be first.
All right.
Looks like Tom Brady's over his personal issue and will be coming back.
How many wins do you think they're good for?
I give them 12.
All right. Second place.
Atlanta, New Orleans, and Carolina are all kind of even to me. If the running back of Carolina could stay healthy, and they got Baker Mayfield, he's going to open in Cleveland. That's probably going to be a win there. So I'll put Carolina 2.
Okay.
Atlanta 3 and New Orleans 4.
Oh, okay. All right. I guess I'll go now.
You remember?
Huh?
Remember last year on the Chiefs where Mathau was throwing his hands up all the time in the early season because they were confused in the defensive secondary? Him and the guy that was confused both went to New Orleans. You might see the same thing in New Orleans.
Oh my. Tampa was good for 13 wins last year, and their division this year is a lot weaker. I mean,
Yeah.
they should get 5 division wins out of 6 games. To me, they should. Then all you got to do out of the other 11 games is win 5 or 6 to 7 games. I think they're good for that. 12-5. I think they're 12-5 team.
Those other teams betting are going to be kind of hard on their schedule, though.
Yeah. Now, I'm picking New Orleans second just because I think they have maybe a top 3 defense in the NFC, which they're going to have because I don't think they have a quarterback. I still don't think they do. I think they go 8-9. Third place for me, I'm picking Carolina to go 6-11. I'm not sold on Baker Mayfield, and they're still talking about they could be trading him before the start of the year if Darnold doesn't get traded. So if Mayfield ends up going to Seattle, like a lot of people say it could happen, that's going to shake up more things.
I
Either
think
way,
I think the owner has a preference for Donaldson because
yeah,
he's spoken publicly about it a couple times.
really. And then Atlanta, to me, is a train wreck, a house fire. Last year, they were only 4 wins with Matt Ryan. I'm only taking them to pick. I'm picking them to be the worst team in football this year with 2 wins. We'll see what happens. Tim, go for it. Who you liking this?
Tampa, I think they could finish with the same 13-4 record.
Okay.
Give me New Orleans second, and maybe 10 wins because they get Michael Thomas healthy. They have Kamara stays healthy. I think he'll avoid the discipline that he was supposed to get because they won't get it done. So probably next year will be his discipline. Yeah, give me the Panthers third in the Calvin Ridley sports betting less Falcons to finish dead last.
How many wins?
Them and maybe Jacksonville, maybe fighting for worst in the league.
All right, so you don't think Atlanta's going to be very good either, then?
No.
All right.
And the worst part is Kyle Pitts will probably have another Pro Bowl season.
Yeah.
And it won't matter.
Brian, let's go to the East. New York Giants, Philadelphia Eagles, Washington Commanders, and Dallas Cowboys. Who you liking here?
Well, Philadelphia won.
Oh, okay. All right. And second place?
Dallas 2.
All right.
Giants 3 and the Commanders 4.
All right. All right, go for it, Tim.
That's an interesting point because Philadelphia has a lot more weapons, especially since Dallas traded Amari Cooper to the Browns. Not exactly enjoying their passing game. You get Michael Gallup at receiver, and Zeke Elliott's unfortunately been on a downward trend. You know, hey, you know what? Yeah, I like that pick. Let's maybe either by a tiebreaker or by a game pick the Eagles to, let's say 10-7 or 11-6.
Okay.
And then maybe that same record for the Cowboys.
All right.
It's a battle of the who plays worse quarterbacks, although once again, this could be like a tie for the bottom as well. All right, maybe I'll give the Commanders a little bit. Although, no, actually, give me the Giants because they have a new coach.
All right.
Finishing ahead of the Commanders.
All right. I got Dallas winning this division 11-6. Second place, I think the Eagles are going to have their problems this year. 9-8 is as good as I think it's going to get for them. I think Washington, they were a 7-win team last year with Heineke, and Heineke's their backup now. So if Wentz gets hurt, they got him to go back to, and I think their defense is a little better. I'm going 8-9 with this team. I think New York's a train wreck. I really do. I don't trust Daniel Jones at all. I'm gonna go 5-12 with this team. We'll see what happens there. Now let's go out west. I guess I'll go first this time. We got the Cardinals, we got the Rams, we got the Seahawks, and we got the 49ers. Man, you know what? This is a division on paper. Everybody thinks they should be really, really good, and I don't think they are. I think this is a weak division. I really do. I'm going to go with the Rams winning the division with 10 games. 10 wins is going to win this division, I think. Second, I'm going to take the Cardinals. I'm not crazy about their quarterback situation. I say they go 7-10. 49ers, if they go with Trey Lance all year, I don't like that. I really don't. I think Jimmy G is gone. I'm going to go 6-11 with this team just purely off of bad quarterback play. And then the Seahawks, they're just in a rebuild. I'm going to go 5-12. I think they could actually fight for third place with the 49ers. But if the Niners had a quarterback right now, I would probably take them to actually win the division. Trey Lance gives me no hope at all for this team. I don't think he's that good. We'll see what happens. Go for it, Tim.
Yeah, I believe that the Rams are, even though they bought most of their players last year, Did anyone sign Beckham yet?
I think he's still a free agent. I think he's still.
free.
I
I think
think
everybody's going to wait till they either are depleted by injuries or that he's healed from
after
his knee injury.
after second or third week when somebody gets hurt.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
he just had knee surgery in February
Oh, okay.
because he tore his knee up in the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay. Right.
So, yeah, and plus with the other receivers, the Rams are far and above better. I do like the Cardinals for second. Kyler Murray will help them enough to get them in second. If Trey Lance is the quarterback, they'll be third, but they'll be under 500. With the Drew Lock-led Seahawks, yay, finishing dead last.
Brian, go for it.
I've got the Rams first. They've got a great coach. He's been doing it. He's a young man, but he's been successful for a long time. Most of the team is back. I got San Francisco too. I know they're going to have growing pains with Trey Lance, but their defensive front is outstanding. One of the best.
They are good. They are good. Right there with the Rams. Yeah.
Yeah. I think San Francisco's defense will help them through some games where Lance maybe is not at his best.
Okay.
I got Arizona third. They have to open up with the Chiefs. I know Kyler Murray is happy now, but we'll see what they look like against Kansas City.
Yeah.
And then Seattle, great wide receivers. But I think the coach just kind of is like he's seen his best days.
Yeah.
I don't think his team that he's got is horrible, but they're going to be fourth place.
How many wins for the Rams, Tim?
Let's see. They won.
They won
last year.
They won 12 last year. Yes.
Yeah, let's go with the same.
Brian?
Did they lose to San Francisco last year?
They lost to them once, I think.
Once, yeah. They're going to win
Then
that. They'll win that game. I'll go 13 wins.
Okay. All right. Let's go to the AFC North. Tim, Baltimore, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati. Tell us why Cleveland is going to win the division and by how many games. Go for it.
Remember, the only things that are certain in this world: life, death, taxes, and the Cleveland Browns losing on opening day. I mean, they've only won one opening day since they've come back. That was, I believe, 2003 against the Ravens. Especially being without their star quarterback for the first 11 weeks. You talk about they finished 6-5. That's a lucky start. So no, they will not be winning the division.
Okay, who we got winning that division?
Cincinnati with Jamar Chase and that receiving core, plus with better offensive linemen to help protect Burrow so he's not flat on his butt a lot of the time.
And they got a better defense than people give credit to. They're not a bad defensive team.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
Give me them first.
Okay.
Give me the Ravens second. I still don't think they're a 500 team. I think 8-9 might be the best they can do.
Okay, and then you like Cleveland third?
Yes, at like 7-10.
Okay,
and then give me the Steelers with a lot of growing pains, being 6-11.
All right, Brian, who you like in this division?
Cincinnati.
Okay.
Jamar Chase is a handful, and then I'm going to shock you all. I'm going to go with Pittsburgh. There's a lot of excitement in Pittsburgh with Pickett. And I don't think Trubisky, he might play one or two games, but I think Pickett's in there pretty quick.
And yeah, you got a point there because they were good for 9 wins last year with a quarterback who couldn't move.
A quarterback.
Yeah, they had a quarterback who couldn't move and didn't throw the ball that well. So, yeah, I'm not at all surprised you picked them. Okay, third place.
I just think Pittsburgh is solid. Third place, I've got Baltimore. And sorry, Tim, I got Cleveland fourth place.
Look, I can take it. People saying the Browns are sorry. I've taken it for 22 years.
They were a couple of years ago. Their offensive line and Mayfield was hot for most of that season. They were a solid team, but there's problems there now.
The offensive line has struggled to stay healthy.
How How many wins is Cincinnati good for, Tim?
Oh, that's right. I didn't say that. They won.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, well, I'll say 12.
12. Okay, Brian.
I'll say 13.
13. All right. I'm taking the Bengals too. I like 12. I like it 12 right there. I'm going with the Ravens going 9-8. And
Okay.
yeah, but I don't think no team in this division is bad. I really don't.
Right.
When I'm talking second, third, and fourth, they could finish any kind of way. I'm going with the Browns 8-9. I think they're right there. I think they're right there with them. And now I'm taking the Steelers. I'm with Brian, 7-10. But look, 3 close games within a field goal, they could be 10-7. So
Yeah.
any one of these teams, if they get hot and can win those 1, 2, and 3 point games, can win this, at least come in second in this division. I don't think none of them are good as Cincinnati, and that would be if Watson was playing from the beginning. I still think Cincinnati. I still like Cincinnati the best because their receiving core and their defense is just a little bit better than everybody's in the division. And Joe Burrow, maybe the least like when you think of great quarterback or very good quarterbacks, he's not thought of as quick as some of these other guys. And he got them to the Super Bowl last year. And he, like you say, he was getting chased all over the hell last year, and they still played pretty well. So I like Cincinnati in this division. I really do. All right, let's go to Brian. Let's go to the South. Indianapolis.
Frank, sorry. Frank, say hello to Frank Wayne Scott here real quick.
Oh, yeah. What's up, Frank? Frank says Bengals are good for 11. We're right there with you, bud. 11 or 12. Brian, Indianapolis, Jacksonville, Houston, and Tennessee. Who are we liking in this division? This is maybe up for grabs. Could it be, or do you guys have a clear cut? Go for it, Brian.
I have Indianapolis. I think there's something still in the tank of Matt Ryan. He'll be re-enthused. He's got Jonathan Taylor running back. Got a good defense in Indianapolis, so yeah, I'm going to take them first.
All right.
Tennessee second.
Okay.
Do you think Malik Willis will get on the field?
By week 3, he'll be out there on the field.
Week 3?
I think so. But that doesn't mean they're going to win. But they were so flat in the playoffs last year. They got to look back at that game and be like,
yeah, they've got a good coach. That coach is.
Oh yeah, I think he's a top 5 coach. Yeah. I really do.
Yeah.
So who you like third?
I know the quarterback at Houston made some strides, but to me, it's a toss-up with Jacksonville and Houston.
We got you.
Jacksonville had a great draft,
and they got to come out and play like they had a good draft too. That's
they got a better coaching staff all the way around this year than they had last year. So I'm going with Jacksonville 2 and Houston, or Jacksonville 3rd, Houston 4th.
All right. And how many wins are the Colts good for?
12.
12. Wow. Okay. I'll tell you what, I'll go second this time. This is a division I'm not so sure about. I really am not. Matt Ryan scares the hell out of me. Matt Ryan won 4 games last year and in not a very strong South.
That's the 2 receivers, but his offensive line was horrible.
Yeah, I'm still not sold on him. I'm really not. I think he's going against better defenses too right here. Jacksonville's defense is a little bit better this year. Houston's defense is going to surprise some people. And I think Tennessee's defense is a top 5 in that conference. I like Tennessee in this, especially if they get their running game going again. Whoever they have quarterbacking, I think they're good for 10 wins. They're not 12-win team like they were last year, but I think they're a 10-win team. Indianapolis 9-8, right on their heels. And then you said it best. Between Houston and Jacksonville, I don't know which team to pick. I'm not. 6-11, 6-11. I'm just going to call it third place tie. Go for it, Tim.
I like Indianapolis to win only because hopefully Matt Ryan won't make the bonehead decisions that Carson Wentz did that cost him a few games. I think that might be enough to push them over the top against Tennessee, who, boy, if there's not a whole lot of 8 men in the box fronts against them, then, oh boy, yeah, because you got to make Tannehill and or Malik Willis beat you, and I don't know if that can happen.
Right.
Let me get, let's see. Indianapolis 9 wins. Give me, let's say, I have him a 2-game improvement.
Who is that?
Indianapolis.
Oh, so 11 and
7.
11 and 6.
11-6, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
11
All right.
6.
And who
They
you
put
like?
me Tennessee at like 10 wins right behind them.
Okay. Who you like third?
Yeah. Essentially, you know what? Let's throw both of them at 5 and 11, 5 and 12.
Yeah. Hey, that's a good cop out. Me and you both did it well. All right. King Twan Gaming. Welcome. Frank Winscott.
Hey, what's
welcome
going
as
on,
well.
King Twan?
And we'll send it back to Tim right here. I'm going to start the next one just because Brian's West are going to be last. We're going to end them with that. But the East, Tim, Miami, New York Jets, New England Patriots, and Buffalo Bills. Who do we like?
I love the Bills.
Okay.
This season.
All right.
A lot more than 11 wins. I like them for 13 wins.
Okay. And second place
is going to be New England, only because I think Tyreek Hill kind of makes that a little bit interesting, but I don't like Tua Tagovailoa full time. Oh, let me see. I think New England could improve by a game, make them go 11-6.
Okay.
Miami goes 10-7, and the Jets will be. And they lost their number one offensive lineman, the Jets did, due to a knee injury.
Mm-hmm. How many wins for New York, the Jets?
3.
All right. Brian, go for it.
Well, Buffalo. I think Buffalo is one of the top. I think Buffalo's the top team in the AFC coming into the season.
Okay.
So I got Buffalo, and I think they're going to win about 14 games.
Wow. Okay. Second place.
Second place is kind of a toss-up for me between New England and Miami, and I'm gonna go with Miami.
Okay.
Not a shocker. I mean, Tyreek Hill adds a lot to that offense.
Yeah. And then you like New England third?
Yeah.
And how many wins are the Jets good for?
Let's go with. Well, the quarterback's injured, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he tore his meniscus, right?
Yeah. Yeah. 3 or 4. 3.
I got you. All right.
Thank you, King Twan, for the compliment.
I'm going to tell you right now, folks, I didn't pick anybody to win 13 games. And I know somebody will win 13. If it's going to be a team, this is the team can do it. It's Buffalo. But I'm still taking them only to win 12. 12-5. I think that's probably a low end because that division, they may go 6-0 in that division. They really are that good. Second place, I'm going New England. They won 10 last year. I'm going to go back a notch. I'm going to go 9-8 this year. I think they may have lost a couple of defensive components that they need. And they're saying Mac Jones is kind of stagnant. We'll see. Last year, they also said he was not a very good quarterback. I picked him to win Rookie of the Year, and he played really, really well. Dolphins, Tua, once you say those words, I'm going to go under 500. I am not impressed by Tua. He played well in college, and in pros, he's just not done it. He doesn't have a good arm, and he just shaky. 7-10 is best I can do. The Jets, I don't care if Zach Wilson played all 17 games. I'm picking them to win 3 games. I think they are a trash dump and a firehouse. Between the two New York teams this year, I've got 8 wins between both teams this year, and I just don't think they're very good. So I'm going to start us off right here out west. And we got the Broncos, we got the Chargers, we got the Chiefs, and we got the Raiders. And I'm going to surprise everybody right here, folks. I'm taking the Broncos to win this division. I know it's a lot of people are saying, well, it's because they've got Russell Wilson. No, it's not. It's because they got rid of Drew Lock. Anybody, pretty much, you could put quarterback A, B, or C in there, but Wilson's not a bad pick. And I think they can win 11 games. Chiefs, I think their lack of wide receiver talent went down without Hill. They are going to have to be tight end. They're going to have to be throwing the ball 10 times a game to their tight end, or they're in trouble. I really think so. I don't think their receiving core is as good as they were last year. I'll put them down for 10 wins. They're in the playoffs. The Chargers, most overrated quarterback in NFL, Justin Herbert. I don't know where everybody sees in him. 9-8. I think it's being nice to them. And yeah, the Raiders. Yeah, their quarterback. I don't know why he gets a free pass every year. I think he's one of the worst 5 or 10 quarterbacks in the NFL. I think he's not very good. 6-11 is the best I'm giving the Raiders. I really think they're not that very good a team. Tim, go for it.
Yeah, the problem is that, you know, well, the Chiefs lost or won a close game in overtime against the Chargers, so they could have been 10-7 as well. Yeah, I think 11 games should win this division.
It's a tough division. It's a tough division.
It is a very tough decision.
You might be right about
This
that.
might be the best top to bottom, I think. I don't
Right.
know. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe both Wests are good.
The problem is I don't really care a lot for the Chargers' defense.
Okay.
The other problem is I don't like Kansas City's offense with their not really giving the running game a whole lot of, with Edwards-Helaire. So you know what? Give me Vegas to improve by a game. I know, like with Ruggs being in jail and but Hunter Renfrow could be the little sleeper pick for most improved.
So you're taking the Raiders to win,
and also
the
they have a great
division?
tight end. The Raiders do.
So you're taking the Raiders to win the division.
Yes,
Second place, who you like?
I like the Chiefs to finish second place. Probably to go down, let's say 10-7.
Okay.
I like LA at that 9-8 mark, and Denver should be. You know what? Let's make them tied with 9-8 as well.
Okay. All right. So you think that's a really good division? Everybody with a winning record, pretty much.
If that's humanly possible, then yes.
It is possible because they've got, the thing is, you got now 12 games out of division?
Mm-hmm.
No, 11. You can do it. You can do it. You can win different division games outside of division. Brian, tell us why the Chiefs are going to win this division. Go for it.
All right. I actually think the Chiefs wide receiver core is going to surprise people. Juju Smith, MVS from the Packers. We still got Kelsey, and they had a guy that was injured all year last year, Jody Forston, that's really shining in training camp. And Sky Moore has looked very good in training camp.
Okay.
Derek Robinson, who they got rid of, was not much help last year. And I think they've actually improved. But the main thing that in our receivers, the main thing that they did was go out and help the defense. Their defense was really sorry the first 5 weeks of the season. They finished 8th in the league. So they got it together toward the end.
Mm-hmm.
But the Karlaftis kid got 2 sacks in preseason. Frank Clark is really working with him. He is looking good.
He's a kid from Iowa.
No, he's from Purdue.
Purdue, that's right.
Yes.
Purdue, that's right.
George
Karlaftis.
Kansas City's linebacking core may be one of the best in the league with Nick Bolton and Guy. And the other guys have been looking very good there, too. They drafted Chanel. I'm not seeing how quick he's going to get on the field, but Chanel from Wisconsin.
Is Thornhill back?
Thornhill's back, yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
And actually, Justin Reed is replacing Tyrann Mathieu, but Thornhill will probably call the signals at the start because he knows the defense a little better than Justin Reed. But eventually, Justin Reed will take over.
He went to high school 5 miles away. How about that?
Yeah.
One did.
Yeah, we like Thornhill, and Thornhill's really gearing up to give us his best season this year.
He's a very physical player. I know he's a very physical player. He is. Yeah. So you like the Chiefs? How many wins are they good for?
Well, that's a tough question because they're going to lose more division games, I think, this year than they've lost in the past. I would say it could be like 12. I don't think they go back to a 5th straight AFC championship game. Host the 5th straight championship game.
Okay, and then who you like in second?
I like San Diego second.
Okay.
We've had trouble with
Oh,
the
you're
tall.
talking about L.A. L.A.
Oh yeah,
Chargers.
I'm sorry.
I got you. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, when you get as old as me, it's hard to make adjustments.
I don't see Herbert playing that much myself, but a lot of people say he's really good. And
Herbert
does
has been good against the Chiefs.
Really?
And
Okay.
the main thing we struggle with are tall receivers like Keenan Allen and Williams. But we've got some taller defensive backs now to handle that, and I think we may be able to compete with them better. But I got LA second.
Oh, okay. LA Chargers, and then who you like third?
Denver's a strong defense. Russell Wilson will give them what they need, a quarterback. They can run the ball. They got Melvin Gordon the third.
They're a good defensive team too. They're pretty good defensive.
And really, in my mind, Kansas City, Denver, and LA are all three going to go for that division championship.
We're going to be going for that division, okay? And the Raiders, you just don't like the Raiders quite as good.
I don't like the Raiders. I like their skill people, but their lines. I was watching a couple of the preseason games, and their offensive line, their fundamentals are horrible.
Yeah.
And defensive line is not much better. So yeah. I don't think the Raiders are going to be able to compete with the other three teams.
Yeah. Who do we have going to the Super Bowl? Tim, representing the NFC is?
Wow, that's the problem. It's going to be very wide open.
All right, go with the AFC first.
You know what? I'll go with the. Let's go with the Los Angeles Rams.
Rams again. Okay.
Again.
Brian, who you liking?
Their left tackle, did he retire?
Yes, Whitworth did retire.
Yeah, Whitworth is gone. But I think the backup is pretty good too, though. So they may not lose a whole lot there. And they're going to need to find some receivers to go with Kupp. But I'm still leaning toward LA like you are, Tim. I think Green Bay is a possibility, but I don't think LA.
Look at Michelle. So I need a second home, so I will bet the opposite of Rob.
Oh, yeah.
And Frank Wainscott, interestingly enough.
Amish Elvis. Yeah, Amish Elvis. Yeah.
Elvis. Do you mind if I throw this in for Frank Wainscott?
Do what?
He says Mount St. Joseph opens at home against Baldwin Wallace, which is the college that's right by where I go to church.
Oh, okay.
And also,
his son plays.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. King Twan likes Packers. You know what? I still like the Bucks. I like the Buccaneers. They are gonna have to. They're gonna have to. I think they're in the playoffs. I really do. It's just a matter if they can get home games. If they can get home games, they're gonna be tough to beat. I really, really like them. Brian, who you like representing the AFC?
Well, I hate to say it, but Buffalo keeps knocking on the door. And I think they get there this year. Although I think Kansas City is right up there with them. We might get a repeat of that playoff game.
Okay. So give us a pick. Just which one's going to the Super Bowl? Buffalo? Tim?
Yeah, Brian, you got good taste. I think the Bills finally knocked through the door.
I'm with you guys. I like Buffalo. Now, who wins the Super Bowl? I'll go first. Buffalo wins the Super Bowl for the first time ever. Tim?
Yeah, I think it's time to break the curse.
No. Brian?
My only problem with Buffalo 2 years ago, they just weren't physical enough. And they had no running game. And they kind of had no running game for a while last year, too. So I think they got a little bit more physical. They're going to still need to make some progress there. Well, I'm going to pick Buffalo.
Okay. All right. Now, MVP. Let me give you the top 6 the way Vegas has them right now. And if you guys want to go somewhere else out there, go for it. They got Josh Allen is their lead guy to get the MVP. Patrick Mahomes second. Tom Brady third, Aaron Rodgers fourth, Joe Burrow fifth, and Dak Prescott sixth. Tim, your MVP this season is?
Well, I think the Buffalo Bills are going to win 13 games, and I'm going to go with Josh Allen.
All right. Brian.
I'll tell you what, the Chiefs offense is looking pretty good. They've had 3 drives in the preseason, and they just marched down the field like nobody's business. They haven't got a running game going yet, but Josh Allen is a near perfect quarterback, and so is Mahomes, but Allen may be just a little bit, just a fraction ahead. It's killing me to say this, but I think Josh Allen be the MVP.
I agree, guys. Triples across the board there. We like Josh Allen to get MVP, so guys, he probably won't win it. So no. Rookie of the year. There's 7 guys they've got ranked up there that could be winner of Rookie of the Year. Kenny Pickett is favored by Drake London, Chris Olave, Breece Hall, Treylon Burks, George Pickens, and Garrett Wilson. I'll go first this time. Kenny Pickett's a sexy pick here, but the thing of it is, if this team does not win at least 7 or 8 games, he's not going to win MVP. You're going to have to almost take a team to the playoffs. I'm not sure they can do that in that tough North. I like Breece Hall in this spot. The Jets, their quarterback's hurt. Running back, he's going to have to be carrying the ball at least 250, 300 times this year. He should get 7, 8, 900 yards rushing. That should be enough to get Rookie of the Year. Tim.
Only because the Saints might need a little more help at wide receiver than Michael Thomas. I'll go with Chris Olave. Yes, there's a little bit of bias there, but hey somebody's got to catch the ball, and Olave could stretch the field.
Yeah. Brian, who are you liking?
Well, they got to have somebody to get the ball to Olave. Olave is tremendous.
Yeah.
I love Breece Hall as a running back at Iowa State. He was fantastic, but I don't see him as like a Jonathan Taylor type.
Okay.
I still think Kenny Pickett's going to be the Rookie of the Year. He's got a great coach, and I think that coach is going to bring that team back.
I got you. Now, let's final comment. Kind of like, okay, this is kind of out there, but I think it's going to happen. So just like, okay, maybe it's 1 in 100, but you're the 1 in 100 that thinks this. Tim, some kind of statement you want to make about this season that some people might kind of raise their eyebrow about, but you're like, okay, I really think this could happen. Go for it. Just kind of, I think this player's going to play really well.
Would it be so shocking to say that Trevor Lawrence will throw more touchdowns than interceptions?
Oh, okay. And no, that's not shocking at all. Or at least it could be shocking to some people because of the way he's played.
Right.
Brian.
The shocking thing, I will say, I'll go with Jody Forston at tight end in Kansas City. They're going to have a ton of guys participating in that passing game, and he is really good. He was injured all last year, so nobody knows who he is, but he has shown up big time in preseason. I think they're going to use him quite a bit.
All right. I'm going to say one starter by week 8 is going to get benched and not going to see the field anymore this year. Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts gets benched by week 8. They're not going to make it playoffs, and he's going to be a major reason why, because they played so badly. And that's just that's the way I see it. But Breece Hall, Kenny Pickett, Chris Olave is our our Rookie of the Year picks. Josh Allen across the board. We all like Josh Allen, and we all like the Buffalo Bills this year. So, guys, take your money and run with the other 31 teams, because somebody's got to win, and maybe not the Bills. I don't know. The one thing that scares me about the Bills is Allen holds on to the ball way too long, and that's the one thing he can't afford to do. If he gets hurt, that team won't win that division if that team
No.
if it get hurt. And that's a lot of teams though. You cannot
Yeah.
afford to lose your number one quarterback unless you name Carolina and you got 2 or 3 quarterbacks that are all kind of, not very, very great,
But then
good,
if
but
you
not
have
very, very
two
bad.
good quarterbacks, you really don't have one.
Right. When you got 2 and 3 fighting for a job, we'll see what happens. Tim, Jacoby Brissett, 11 games. He's going to go with a record of?
Let me look at their schedule real quick.
I've already looked at it. I'm going to go 4-7. Brian,
I'll be lucky and say 5-6.
Okay. What are you thinking with Jacoby Brissett? They've got a lot of division games in that first 11 games. They're going to have to play Pittsburgh once or twice. I think they got Cleveland. I mean Cincinnati one time, and I want to say maybe they got Baltimore twice in that 11.
No, you got Pittsburgh once. You get the Chargers.
Okay.
All the rest of the division games are the second half of the season.
Are they? Are they? Okay. So
Yeah.
how many division games are in the first 11? 3?
Pittsburgh once, Baltimore once, Cincinnati once. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And the other 3 are after they come back. So.
Oh, okay. All right.
But you also have you have Buffalo, Tampa, Cincinnati, Chargers, Patriots. Oof.
I don't see him winning any of those games.
Not really.
I say 4-7. So, what do you think, Brian? How you think they go starting off? That may be nice to him. I don't know. But Brissett, he's going to have to play out of his mind. He really is, and I don't know if he can.
Well, they could get the 3 wins with the Jets, maybe get the Steelers, and maybe get the Falcons, because I don't see them winning opening day.
Yeah.
I'll go 2-9.
2-9. Wow.
Yeah, okay. that wouldn't shock me either. you might be able to get Miami on a bad day.
Yeah. I liked 4-7 as well. And then they've got, when they get their quarterback, and he's going to be just like week 1 and week 12. They're going to have Pittsburgh. They're going to have Cincinnati. They got Baltimore. And who else have they got with him? 6 games.
So the final 6 games are Houston, Cincy, Baltimore, New Orleans, the Commanders, and the Steelers.
All right. So not the toughest out of division. You got Houston and New Orleans and Washington. They should win those games. They really should with him if he comes out and plays like he can play. But we'll see what happens with that in that situation. Week 1. We didn't go with a lock this week. Who's your lock, Tim? Who's your lock as far as college football teams and games this week?
Let me throw the lock on the Utah State UConn. I believe that's the game. Yeah.
Utah State UConn 27.5, and you saying it could be 47.5.
It
Yep.
could definitely be.
How about it, Brian? Who you like for your lock?
I'll put the lock on Nevada.
Lock on Nevada, okay. And I like my lock this week. It's Florida State. I'm giving up 34, but you know what? I'll do it. I'll give up 34. I'll take them as a lock. And Duquesne, the Dukes are not one of these high-priced teams usually, so we'll see what they're all about. Plus, they're playing in Florida State. If they were on the road, I would be like, okay.
Trust me, they have to play that game at Heinz Field, although Duquesne might play their games there.
Oh, is that where they're playing?
Let me see where Duquesne plays their game, because they're a Pittsburgh University.
Yeah, are they playing there, or are they playing in I think they're playing in Florida State. That's why. No.
But if they played the game in,
if they were Duquesne. At home, Duquesne. Oh, okay. Duquesne is in Pittsburgh.
Yes, it is.
Okay. They
have Rooney Field, which is like on the campus, of course.
Art Rooney.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that makes sense. He may have funded that whole university. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
they've 45. Well, they fit 2,200 for football.
2,200.
There ain't no way that Florida State would ever go down there.
No, They would have to get 150. They'd have to get $300 a ticket, and it'd be like, okay, you still owe us $500,000.
No, they'd have to play it at Heinz Field.
Yeah, they would have.
But that's where Pitt plays, is at Heinz Field.
Right. Oh, they'd have to end up going all the way to Philly and playing.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be wild. That'd be crazy.
Well, then again, Toledo did play at the Brown Stadium because they had to play home and home against Ohio State, and that was the venue.
Toledo was not going to hold enough to hold Ohio State's.
No, not at the rocket ship. No.
One final thing: national champion this year will be Bryan football in NCAA.
Oh, come back. I have to think about that a little bit.
Okay, Tim.
Let me see who the top 15 are real quick. Because
Alabama, Ohio State, Georgia.
See, the problem is that I can see why everybody's a little tired of, the 14 playoffs.
Michigan, and Utah. That's a top 5.
Yeah, I don't. Michigan ranked number 8. That seems a little high, with especially losing a lot on defense.
Yeah.
Clemson's number 4 this year. They were god awful.
Guess how many players they lost last year?
None.
2. I only 22. 2 only 22. They didn't lose.
But
I want to say
quarterback is garbage.
They're picked to go undefeated. They're picking them to beat Notre Dame. They're picking them to beat
then again, Notre Dame could lose week 1 to Ohio State.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's their toughest game. I'll tell you something else. Miami's going to be scaring some people this year. That's a team that can win 10 or 11 games. Miami. Wait and see. Everybody's talking about Florida. Watch Miami. Miami is going to be very
Utah
tough.
Could give some people some scares. They played very well against Ohio State.
Yeah.
Ohio State didn't have that great a defense.
Have you seen who is favored in the Pac-12 again?
Is it USC?
USC, and then Oregon, then Utah, and I'm thinking, okay, now that's bulletin board material for Utah right there. But
you got that right.
Yeah, it is. And Utah's for real, man. But
yeah,
Georgia had lost so many players last year. I mean,
right.
My God, they lost 7 defensive players in the first round. I mean, my goodness, you cannot replace them overnight. I'm sorry. Yeah. Bryce Young's coming back, and Alabama didn't lose near as many defensive players. I like Alabama.
The problem is they lost their top 2 receivers, didn't they?
Yeah, but
Menchie and Williams.
I still like them. They're going to be able to run the football until they can't, and then they'll throw the football. This is a team, they can lose 1 or 2. And being in the Southeastern Conference, they will still get the consideration to get to play in the playoff, where if Ohio State goes out here, if they trip up one time, and there's a team out there named Purdue that a lot of people are not looking at this year. Purdue is going to be a top 10 team. I really believe that. I think
if Ohio State ends up playing them this year. They get to skip Purdue this year.
Yeah, but they may end up playing them in the championship in the Big Ten championship. So I don't.
Yeah, they definitely could.
I'm taking Alabama. I think Alabama from top to bottom, and they get to be one of the best coaches out there. I take Alabama. Bryan.
Yeah, I think that. Plus, they also are probably a little bit hungrier from losing last year.
Tim likes Alabama too. Who you like, Bryan?
I think whoever wins that Notre Dame Ohio State game might be the choice.
Really?
Notre Dame's new coach was there by popular choice. Their players are really excited about that.
Yeah.
And I was not a big Skip Kelly fan.
He probably is not going to make it long at LSU. I wouldn't think anyway. He doesn't look like a perfect fit there to me.
Is Brad Johnson's kid still going to be the quarterback?
No, Brad Johnson's kid ended up transferring to
That should already make them better.
Yeah, right. They got to be worth 3 more games right there, right? He was terrible last year. He went to some team. I want to say, somebody help me out there. Baylor, Texas A&M, Texas Tech, somewhere in Texas. I want to say he went, but I'm pretty sure he transferred. I'm pretty sure he did. They got to be better, but I'm pretty sure the transfer window opened up for him, and he went somewhere else. I don't even know. What was it Max Johnson? Max? I think it's his name, Max Johnson. I want to. Nobody in chat's throwed up where he's going yet, but I want to say he transferred somewhere. I'm pretty sure. I want to say Texas. Might have been Oklahoma State, but I want to say it was a Big 12 team, I think. Do you say?
By the way, I needed to correct myself real quick. With that UTEP game, it was UTSA and Western Kentucky in the conference title game last
Oh,
week.
okay. All right.
So, but UTEP did go 7-6, so that's not
that's
not
world's
terrible.
worst. Let's see where Max Johnson is at this year.
The problem, the thing with that Western Kentucky, and they'll definitely
What
win
about
against
Max Johnson?
Western
win the
Kentucky
away
was
team, but
amazing
I don't
last
know if they'll
year.
win the whole shebang.
Yeah, he's an American football quarterback for Texas A&M Aggies. That's
Okay,
where he's
that's
at
why they're a top 10 ranked preseason.
because he's there.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
Plus, someone for the Big 12's got to get
Well,
some love.
don't they
Or
have
SEC, sorry.
don't they have an old coach from Florida State?
Yeah, that guy. The other thing is that the Western Kentucky offensive coordinator, I think, moved on to Oklahoma.
Oh,
so
okay.
They must have been impressed enough with the job that he did with Zappy to hire him to try to replace.
They averaged 44 points a game last year, Western Kentucky, and they never scored less than 34.
Man, I'll tell you what, that is pretty.
I don't care who you are, that's impressive.
That is. So, Brian, which one are you going to take? Ohio State or are you going to take Notre Dame? Which one?
He's
okay.
whistling Notre Dame there.
I'm not as high on them this year. I don't know. I think they're going to lose 2 or 3. We'll see. The team I think really takes a nosedive this year is Michigan. I think Michigan's defense is not as good as it was. We'll see. And, will USC pick back up? I would love to see nothing more. I'd love to see USC get up there and play great for 10, 11 games. And
yeah, you need USC and Nebraska to become national powers again.
Yeah, and like Brian said, with Scott Frost there, I'm not very impressed, but they're going to have to win 9, 10 games to save his job.
Oh,
They've got to.
I agree.
And I don't think it happens. I really don't. We'll see. But preseason, they are picking them to beat Oklahoma. I have seen that, but Sporting
Nebraska to beat Oklahoma.
Nebraska to beat Oklahoma.
That was a close game last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, they played 4 points, 4-point
game.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good game. It won't bad. So we'll see what happens.
Them and Rutgers were the king of close games last year.
Yeah, and then in the NFL, Detroit, they played within a touchdown, 10 different games, and I think they lost 8 of them. They just flip. If they flip a script a little bit this year, they can win some games.
Well, Hutchinson alone should be worth about 2 or 3 more wins, shouldn't it?
Back to the colleges, I think Wisconsin's going to make a move up.
Wisconsin's always good at home.
That's running back university, but they got an offensive line this year.
Yeah.
And Graham Mertz, he's been disappointing so far, but I think he's going to come out of it. I think he's going to be what they thought he was.
Very cool. Well, guys, it's 8:00 here on the East Coast. I'm going to go watch the rest of the Phillies games. They're actually sitting in the left field stands tonight. The guys calling the game, so it'll be fun to watch. We'll see if they can keep up with the Reds. Don't tell me the score, guys. I'm figuring the Reds are probably killing them, but I'm hoping not anyway. You all have a great, great evening. For Tim, for Brian, my name is Rob. Check out Brian's channel. Tim needs to get a channel going too. Then you can check Tim's channel out, but definitely check Brian's channel out. And do please subscribe and hit that notification, that bell will ring, ding, ding, every time I come online. And it's not me beating up somebody. It's actually me coming online. You all have a great night. God bless, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
So
Thank you.